Hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. Today we are taking a look at AUM and its recent update and a couple of other new features. So I did a video the other day, showed you some of the new features, and now I'm going to show you two more of the new features. Now this first feature I'm going to show you is really useful, okay? So it allows you to, it has AUv3 MIDI clock division and multiplier settings now. So to explain this, easiest way to explain this is to demonstrate it in action. I have three heliums here from Paul from Four Pockets, and they have the identical sequence, okay? The sequence is exactly the same. I played it 3 times. It's just exactly the same sequence. You'll get the idea. I have 3 SynthMaster 2s playing exactly the same sound. Okay, so they sound like this. It's exactly the same. 3 heliums playing the same sound inside of SynthMaster 2. Okay, so if we go into, say for example, the second one, here, let me just turn this all down a little bit for you. This little icon here, the one with the little sliders on, tap on that. And this is for your AUV, like it's your MIDI settings for your AUv3s, right? But this is really if you're using MIDI effects, it's best with MIDI effects like Helium, for example, or Riffer, or a gazillion others, Chemol, Kai's apps, you know, all them type of things. Anything that's going to be playing your MIDI. So tap on this little icon here. And this gear icon here, tap on that, and you'll see now you have clock ratio and clock factor. So listen to what happens, okay? I'm going to turn these back up a little bit. So at the moment, they're just playing the same thing. Let's tap on this, tap on the gear icon now, and let's move this to its next point, which is 1.2 times 2. You hear that now? Cool. Let's still playing the same sequence on 2 of them. So let's go down to this third one now, which is this one. Let's open the instrument, tap on these, tap on the gear, and let's take this one down. Okay, let's do the first one now. Tap on the hair again, tap on the gear icon, and let's how cool is that? So now you can set different time divisions for your AUv3s. Now we have a clock factor offset as well. So let's listen to this one in some detail. So this is the first one. And let's hear what happens when we start to play around with the actual offset. There we go. So starts to sound weird, right? So you can calculate this stuff if you want to. So you can get some very cool and interesting effects. I mean, you can go nuts. Right, okay. Now, of course, you don't need to have the same sequence playing, but that is the best way to show you what that clock division for the AUv3s is doing. You can have different sequences, different sounds. It doesn't matter, but the point is you really hear what it does when you've got the same sound been played with the same sequence over and over again, and then you start to alter the clock division, you can hear how cool that is, right? It's really, really nice. Okay, so the other thing that was added was that it now shows Apple's system plugins. So Apple's has you can get these in GarageBand and stuff, but you could never see them in AUM. Not many people use them. To be fair, they're not that brill. If we play this, let's solo my vocal as well. Right, okay, so if you play something like this, let's open up the effects node and look at audio units. And I think I have these set on, let me just set this to the company. Go down, and here we have Apple's. So now you can see you have access to, sorry about that, do it with my finger, access to Apple's AUv3s, and you can see there's a bunch of them. In fact, there's loads of them, right? We'll listen to some. Now we've got this cool isolation one, and you'll see the sound will go away, and then we can bring it back in. Okay, and it's just set to voice. All that does is isolate the sound. Let's get rid of that. Okay, and let's try another one. So you have a delay. And it's just a delay. You have some other interesting ones as well. Like I said, I probably wouldn't use these, but they're there if you want them now, and there is absolutely loads of them. So we've got a reverb. Let's see what that's like. I've never used these, to be honest with you. What's going on? There we go. It's alright, it's not great. Something I would never use that. But the fact is it's there if you want to use it. Let me just reset that eject thing as well. Remember we showed you the other day, go down to settings and you can turn that confirm eject off. Don't forget your navigator as well now, which is also very new. And then, like I said, the tempo divider and multiplier, which for me, that's really, really great. Not to use with something like this, but this was just literally to demo how it sounds. And it's great. I mean, you can add more of these, obviously. Super easy to set them up, obviously. Just you're routing your MIDI as normal. Out from Helium or whatever other processor you're using. It's really good. It's nice to play around with the different speeds as well and get some interesting results. So don't forget the gear icon. Gets very Tangerine Dreamy. Let's see. Of course, it can turn into a cacophonous mess if you're using the the clock factor. You really need to know how you're calculating this stuff, or literally just play around with it until you find something that's nice. Of course, it's all going to sound fine if you've got an instrument soloed, for example, or we just turn the volumes down on these two and we play this one. And I look at the controls and we go like, okay, well, I'm obviously on the wrong one here, so hang on a minute. Okay. You're not really going to hear what this is doing. without it being hit against other sequences. But if you keep it controlled and you don't go nuts with the clock factor, you'll get some really interesting results, which is very cool, you know, especially if you're playing around with sequences and live performances and things like that. Anyway, top job. There you go. 2 more new features. The AUv3 clock divider multiplier setting, which you find in, I mean, it's in here as well. Look, if we open this up and we do this and but you're not really going to hear it on this because it's just an instrument. Okay. It's best working with anything that's generating a MIDI sequencer, but then you'll really hear it well. And also the addition of the Apple AUv3s, which they're all a bit meh. They're not great, but you know, they're free. They don't cost you out, so you can play around with them. Some of them are okay, like the distortion and things like that. The EQs aren't bad, that kind of thing. But the actual like delays and reverbs, obviously we have much better options available on iOS. All right, top job. Cool beans. I will see you guys later. Ta-da. I'm just going to play around with this till I get something that sounds pretty cool. See you later. Oh, don't forget to strike the like and subscribe. Yeah, awesome. Let's go.